What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D. Hey, if you haven't yet, make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe to my content. We're on the road to 75,000 subscribers, and I really do appreciate you guys. So, I want to take a look at how news organizations are covering Donald Trump's blatant lies and how bad it is that there are still people out there willing to cover up his lies and explain them as if they aren't blatant lies. So let's take a look at how Fox News covered the New Orleans tragedy, what they said, and how they refuted some of Donald Trump's lies.
Elect Donald Trump put out a statement on social media earlier today that reads as follows. When I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, but it turned out to be true. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has ever seen before. Our hearts are with all the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil. Now, the former president said criminals coming in his statement, meaning into our country. But to be clear, Molly and Brian, the suspect was born in the United States. He served in the United States Army. He was a veteran. The FBI is the lead agency in this investigation, going through the social media and any other accounts associated with the suspect.
Now, as you guys know, Fox News was sued out of their minds for spreading false information about the 2020 election being stolen. So they're pretty careful about how they frame things nowadays. So obviously, they realize it's a lie and they refute it immediately. But now I want you to take a look at this Donald Trump bootlicker on CNN and watch him do a horrible job of pretending Donald Trump isn't blatantly lying.
Driving to a Walmart in El Paso and start shooting Mexicans because they think that Mexicans are invading the country. This is where something like this starts.
Yeah, I mean, Neil, this is a problem, and you were saying a few moments ago you can't take him literally. Why shouldn't you take the president of the United States literally? Isn't that sort of a baseline expectation that he should stick to the facts?
I think, look, in this particular instance, and I didn't see the exact language he used in the True Social post, I don't think he was saying that this individual crossed illegally, or if he was, it was based on initial reporting that was incorrect, that somebody had crossed
We can show it up
Eagle
on screen
Pass.
again. I mean, he's talking about the...
But he has a valid
point. He's blaming Biden's open borders policy.
And again,
he's talking about that on True Social. I mean,
but does he tie it directly
when I said that
to
the
this
criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, but it turned out to be true. Not in this case.
Not in this case,
what he is saying in that Truth Social post is false. That is false.
He's not saying that this individual crossed the border illegally, right, but there were 400 people on the terrorist watch list.
Of course, but when there's an act of terrorism in this country, the incoming president should tell the truth to the American people. I mean, that is just... Isn't that what the president should do at all times?
He's talking about securing the border, and he's been talking for years about securing the border, and he believes, and I think the data bears out that he won the election partially because
I mean, I just
of
have to say, here he goes
border.
Again. He talks about everybody else being fake news, and he's the one peddling fake news.
I mean, you can't make this shit up. He first tries to say that he hadn't seen the direct language of the post. Why in the heck would you go on a television show to talk about a post that you didn't take the 30 seconds to read? He's full of shit. This is a tactic they use to avoid confronting the message verbatim. If they say, I didn't actually see it, they can argue what they assume rather than argue the actual truth. But the biggest problem with this is that these are the people who have received the highest positions in the new Trump administration. I mean, in his first administration, he chose some centrists. In this administration, he has chosen guys like this who will lie to protect his lies at all costs. These are the people who know that their ability to promote depends on how much they bootlick for Donald Trump. The fact that this is the majority of the people tasked with being guardrails for Donald Trump in a system that depends on checks and balances should scare the shit out of everyone. I mean, think about it for a second. There was a time during his first administration when he would go out there and he would say things, and then you could tell he would come back out later and had better information, and people had told him, hey, be careful of saying those things, and he might shy away from saying those things again. There were things that he tried to do that people in the FBI, DOJ, CIA probably told him, you know, that's not going to work. So he didn't do those things. Those people do not exist in this new Donald Trump administration. You see, Donald Trump watched the last 4 years the people who were the most loyal to him, even when they knew he was lying. He watched the people who heard him say that people in Ohio, Haitian people, were eating cats and dogs. He watched the people who went out and lied for him and protected that lie and defended him, and he said, those are the people that I want. He watched the people who defended him saying that kids are going to school and getting sex change operations, and he said, those are the people that I want. So make no mistake about it, Donald Trump is hand-picking people who he knows will not do anything but lie for him. And this should scare the hell out of everyone, because these people are not good for Donald Trump. They're not good for his cabinet. They're not good for the Republican Party. But even worse, they are horrible for America. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.